You ever get that feeling like you have a sixth sense about people, that you can just understand them on a level that most other people can't? Well, it turns out that's not just a feeling. It's a very real and pretty rare ability. And today, we're going to break down the science behind it. We're talking about the three core sources that power your intuition. I mean, think about it. You've met someone new, right? They're telling you a story. Everything seems totally fine on the surface. But something inside you, this little alarm bell, just starts ringing. You just know something is off. And that right there is the fundamental difference. See, while most people are just listening to the words, to the story, you're processing a whole other layer of information. It's like you're tuned into this invisible channel, the energy, the stuff they aren't saying. For you, your instincts, that's your main source of data. Okay, so what's really interesting is that psychology actually has a name for this. It's called hyper-awareness. And no, it's not magic, it's not mind reading. It's just a super finely tuned state of perception. You're basically picking up on all these tiny little signals, social cues, emotional cues that just fly right under most people's radar. So where does this come from? Well, let's dive into the first source. All right, so our first source is all about how your brain processes information. I want you to think of yourself as a kind of pattern detective. You're constantly on the lookout for clues in how people act. And this really comes down to a strength in abstract thinking. What does that mean? It means you're not just seeing one thing at a time, like an isolated action or hearing just a few words. Nope. Your mind is automatically connecting all the dots, between their tone of voice, their body language, their choice of words, and it lets you see the whole picture, while other people are just seeing the little pieces. So here's how it actually works. It's this super fast three-step process that's all happening subconsciously. You're not even thinking about it. First, your brain is like a sponge, just soaking up all this data. Body language, tone, you name it. Then, second, it's like this internal software starts running, and it immediately flags any inconsistencies. Like when someone says, "I'm fine," but their shoulders are all tense up to their ears, your brain flags that. And third, bam, your brain sends an alert. And that is your gut feeling. That's the signal telling you, hey, pay attention here. Okay, let's move on to the second source. And this one can be pretty personal for a lot of people, because for some, this hyper-awareness was actually forged in really difficult environments. It didn't start as a talent, it started as a necessary survival skill. I think this quote just captures it perfectly. It's a survival skill that turned into a superpower. I mean, think about it. When you've had to learn how to read a room or read a person's mood, just to feel safe, your senses become incredibly sharp. You learn to pick up on the tiniest shift in the atmosphere. And yeah, that skill might have been born from a need to survive, but now it's evolved into this incredible strength, a genuine superpower. So what this means is you're pretty much operating on a completely different level of perception. Most people, they notice the obvious stuff, but you notice the invisible data, the things like that fleeting little microexpression that gives away how someone really feels, or that tiny hesitation in their voice, or, that tangible shift in someone's energy the second you bring up a certain topic. And that brings us to the third pillar of this ability. This one is rooted deep in your biology, because it's not just about thinking and observing, it's about feeling. You literally have this highly responsive built-in empathy system. So let's get into the biology here. We're talking about something called mirror neurons, and these things are incredible. They're a type of brain cell that fires when you do something, but here's the crazy part. They also fire when you just watch someone else do that exact same thing. It's like your brain is running a simulation of their experience in real time. This is literally the biological hardware for empathy. Now, for people like you, your mirror neuron system is probably highly active, which makes it super sensitive. This is what allows you to pick up on that flicker of sadness in someone's eyes, even when they're smiling. It's what lets you register the tension in their body when they swear up and down they're relaxed. You can literally feel that gap, that disconnect between what they're saying and what they're actually feeling. So, when you put all these pieces together, the pattern recognition, the life experiences, the biology, you start to see that your intuition isn't some mystical force, right? It's a real, practical, and incredibly powerful tool. A tool built from your mind, your past, and your very biology. So let's just break it down one more time. You've got your mind, which gives you that incredible pattern recognition, the ability to see connections no one else does. You've got your experience, which for some might have created a kind of threat detector that's now super finely tuned. And then you've got your biology with those mirror neurons that let you literally feel what other people are feeling. It's the combination of these three things that creates your unique, powerful instinct.
So, the next time you get that gut feeling, that instant read on someone, I want you to remember what's actually happening under the hood. This isn't magic, it's a complex, powerful interplay between your psychology and your biology. And they're all working together to give you this much, much deeper understanding of the world. So, here's the bottom line: you have this incredible, genuinely rare ability to see the world in a way that most people just can't. It's a part of who you are. So the only real question left is, how are you going to use it?